Yo, what's up guys, it's Gabzzz here and welcome to The Best and Worst from Tajiez EP, I'll Be Fine. Tajiez is an artist I've covered a lot over the last year. Born in Haiti, Tajiez started to discover music at a young age by listening to Justin Bieber to impress girls. He eventually moved to Montreal, where he now resides, and started making music back in 2021. Now me and Taj are pretty close. That doesn't mean this review is going to be super glowing, because I would be a bad friend if I didn't give my honest opinion. So, let's get right into it.
She loved me, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. She loved me, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
We start off with the intro. It's a nice little voiceover over a light guitar beat, very simple, very acoustic, and it tells the story of the project. In my opinion, this is great artistry from Taj and really shows how vulnerable and introspective this project is to him. The first song on the album is Running Out of Time, which is a very hyperpop style that we've seen a lot from Tajiez. It's got a low-key guitar sample as well as the hard-hitting hyperpop. I don't know my music production. I'm gonna say they're 808s, but I don't know. They could be synths. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm talking about. He says in the chorus, quote, "When we met, you said it was a sign, but I hope that shit was true, girl. I hope that wasn't a lie." That shows that this is probably the beginning of the end of this relationship between Tajiez and this girl or guy. I don't, bro, he says some sus things sometimes, you know, you never fucking know. You never know. But I'm going to assume it was a girl, which kind of leads me to believe that this project is the story of the end of a relationship. Kind of like the intro did say. I mean, in my opinion, this track goes hard. It is a very Tajiez song though. So it doesn't necessarily stand out to me, but I'll give it a 7.6. We then go on to the second actual song on the project, which is Hate Me. Now this song is one that Tajiez has been promoting hard since the project dropped, and it's one of my favorites, low-key. Again, you get the hyperpop style with the guitar samples, and the chorus is very, very, very catchy. My only gripe with it is the beginning of the track. The vocal layering could be a bit better. The background vocals almost impede on the main vocals and they don't quite layer right. I also like the touches of high notes on the chorus. Those are layered perfectly, beautifully, and they're nicely dispersed, so they actually accentuate the lower tones as well. Very, very, very good. Again, this is some more hyperpop style that we've seen from Tajiez time and time again, and he's slowly perfecting it. This song is a 7.3 in my opinion. Next, we have Lose You. Now this song has more of a punk rock style, sort of like we saw in Tajiez's latest single, Need Me. While it is a little bit more punk rock, it still keeps that hyperpop sound. I do feel though there's some full lines where it's almost like a run-on sentence, and I feel it throws off the rhythm a bit. Lyrics like, "All you ever got is brokenhearted. You need someone soft," or something like that. That line there, I feel like could have been worked on, workshopped, maybe found some different lyrics that fit the same vibe, the same sentiment, but fit the rhythm a bit better. But that's me also nitpicking a little bit. It's a very good song. I gave it a 7.4. We then have Frozen with the slanty face, which, by the way, I'm gonna critique because, listen, Tajiez, you're my guy, but you've been on a roll with these sad songs. And I'm allowed. We're allowing it. But with the broken heart on Hate Me, one of those little quirky ooh things is enough. But then you did the slanty face on Frozen. That docks you a little bit. Frozen is the most stripped down and slowed song on the project. There are some full lines, somewhat like what I was saying earlier, leading into the chorus, but they actually do fit the rhythm quite well. But the song doesn't stand out to me in any way, and I would not revisit very often. I just don't hear Tajiez do this slower down version very often, and it feels like a project song, which is not bad at all. It fits the theme of the project very well, and it fits the storyline very well. It is much needed on the project, but that doesn't mean I would necessarily revisit it when I'm not listening to the project. And that's why it got a 6.8. Then we have Never Enough, which I think is maybe the most bland song on the album, which isn't a bad thing. It just doesn't stand out good or bad. It fits the project very well. It's somewhat catchy, but that's about it. It gets a 7. Now we get to Wrong One, which has like a little bit more of a harder bass line and almost feels like more of a Juice WRLD vibe than a hyperpop vibe, which is a nice dichotomy from the rest of the project. And upon my first listen, I wrote, so far, my favorite song on the project, and I gave it a 7.7, which leads us to the last actual song on the project, Wish I Never Met You. It starts off with this beautiful, beautiful piano, a little bit of soft vocals, some oohs and ahs. You then get some hard-hitting lyrics over the soft bass line with some drums in the background just building, and then the fucking boom drop. And like, I know that the song's meant to be emotional and whatever, but I can't help but mean mug while listening to it. It hits hard. I just wrote in my notes, yeah, I lied. This is my favorite now. It's the orchestra vibe with the trap drums, the elite build. It gets a 7.2 out of 10. We then also get the bonus track, Need Me, which was a previously released single, which, not gonna lie, wasn't my favorite when it was released as a single, and it has kind of grown on me a little bit. Still would be better with real instrumentation, which I understand, again, not really accessible to the underground at a certain level, and so it got a 6.9 out of 10. So in conclusion, I really enjoyed this project from Taj. It was cohesive, which in my opinion is the bare minimum when you're creating a project. It tells a story, and you can see the progression not only in Tajiez's personal life but in his artistry. I think that Tajiez as an artist has already shown signs of progression that low-key remind me of a Quadeca. If Tajiez chooses to, he could easily go down like a very indie alternative hip-hop route, similar to what Quadeca has done. But he could also very well go into a mainstream commercial vibe. He's rather versatile in that sense, which is very impressive. So, all in all, I gave Running Out of Time a 7.6, Hate Me a 7.3, Lose You a 7.4, Frozen a 6.8, Never Enough a 7, Wrong One a 7.7, Wish I Never Met You a 8.2, and Need Me a 6.9. And thus, I gave this project a 7.4 out of 10. It showed a lot of potential. It was very enjoyable, but was flawed at some parts. So that is my review of Tajiez. I'll Be Fine. Go check it out on all platforms. Let me know what you thought of the project in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in the next video.